So people are realizing how powerful something like maple syrup, salt, sugar, fruit, OJ, how powerful these things can be. But here's a very important distinction, something to keep in mind. Bodybuilders have been doing this for years. Okay. Generally, when you're eating sugar or higher carbs, you're going to try to keep your fat low. So usually carbs or sugar with nothing else, or carbs and sugar with protein. Or you're going to go lower carb, lower sugar, and then have ample fat and protein, or even just ample fat. The pairing of fat and protein, or excuse me, fat and carbs, and protein to an extent, but protein not really. It's really just the fat and the carbs mixed together. That is a recipe for fat gain. Okay. And sometimes you want to gain fat. That's fine. Like I'm just saying, this is the likely biological effect of eating high amounts of sugar, carbs, and fat together. Now, of course, there's nuances with starches and sweet potatoes versus white starches and sugar and fructose versus simple, like, obviously a lot of things here. But as a general rule, if fat loss and optimization or not gaining fat is a goal, you want to try to separate your consumption of sugar and carbs with fat. Try to keep them separate. So at night, if you're doing something like the honey diet, it's basically at night you're doing low carb with protein and even like kind of a low fat. I've seen some people do, but you could try fat and protein and generally just be lower carb, lower sugar at night. During the morning, though, you're doing tablespoon honey. You're doing maybe a whole thing of like OJ with some maple syrup and salt. You're basically almost all sugar, all carbs in the morning, and not even any protein, no fat or protein. That's one way to do it. I've been seeing some people experiment with a little bit of cream and then some carbs in the morning, or a little bit of protein, or even like gelatin. So using something like marshmallows. But when you have these things and how you use them does matter. If you're eating a standard American diet full of seed oils and every meal is just carbs and a lot of fat and it's like crappy sources, whatever, and then you throw in something like this, like fresh squeezed OJ, maple syrup, coconut water, all generally, I would say, health promoting foods. But if you throw it in when you're already eating that standard American diet stuff and you have a huge meal and then you throw that in at the end, you're not doing yourself any favor. So there are obviously nuances here, and there is timing, food timing. Intermittent fasting itself is all about when you eat food. It's not about the food you eat, it's when you eat food. Okay. So timing food and timing macros in a certain way to get the desired biological effect based on your goals is just common sense. And people like to fall in this binary. It's all good or it's all bad or whatever, but that's never the truth. The truth, as Aristotle said, is the golden mean found in nature, usually somewhere in the middle. You have this extreme, you have that extreme. And in the middle, you have optimal.